There is an introduction about the network and so on and so forth. It's an online tool, and we don't want to bore you with going through all the details. You are more than welcome to explore it. The rest of the world probably is already exploring it and looking at it. And the domain name is in the documents that you received or the emails that you received. Anything else you want to say? And also keep in mind, please, it's work in progress. So we welcome your feedback. And be patient. There are a few things that still need to be done. So be patient with them. And they will all be done with your work as well. Now, if we switch to the other side, which is the social network for the Palestine network. And the domain name for that is palestinenetwork.net. And this is the part of the work that I'm really excited about. And I'll just take only 2-3 minutes to explain to you the value of social networking. We all heard about a phenomenon called Facebook. In South America, you have a similar portal called Orkut. Yes. So let's take Facebook for an example. Facebook at the moment have active members, active users that use it every day, 400 million people from around the world, with all different kinds of languages, backgrounds, political views, and everything else you can imagine in the world. To explain the value or the commodity that Facebook represents, when it was 250 million users only, Microsoft spent $650 million to only buy 2% of it. Why? Why is that? Why is it important? Because social networks, they represent the power of the masses, the power of the people. The people create the value. And this value is actually a real commodity that's worth a lot of money. In the case of Facebook, the money all goes to the stakeholders, the shareholders, the people who founded it. What I'm hoping, at least, or the reason why I became very excited about the Palestine network, is that we can create the same thing. With one exception, that commodity, the value of the crowd, of the power of the masses of the Palestinian diaspora, and those who support them around the world, will become the shareholders of that, not few individuals, not even us, but it is the Palestinian people and the Palestinian cause. So I was hoping we can replicate that, especially, I think we can even be, in our area, we can even be more successful than Facebook, because we are mixing reality with the virtual. And the reason why some of you probably misunderstood me this morning when I was a bit excited and overreacted about not putting too much details in the documents, because as we say, the devil is always in the details. So what is Facebook? What's Facebook? How did it become such a phenomenon, such a successful, and how did they succeed against the odds? They were in competition against giants that are even bigger than Israel and are even bigger than regional powers here. One of them is Microsoft. Another one is called Google. But they succeeded. Why? Because they simplified everything. All what you have to do to become a citizen of Facebook is simply a username and a password. And the company, what does it do? It provides you with simple tools, set of tools that you can use to create your existence, to use to define yourself. They didn't tell you, they didn't make you become a member of a religion or a cult or a political party. They allowed you to bring yourself, your life, your real life, your network of friends, your images, your text, everything that you are passionate about, put it online, and then give you the ability to link with like-minded people. And now they are changing the face of the world. It's not a joke. I know that a lot of people, they don't use Facebook, and they don't for different kind of issues. But the fact is that they have 400 million citizens. If they continue growing at the same rate, they will overtake China. America has only what, 270 million? 300? So Facebook has 400. And there are other success stories as well. The Palestinian diaspora and the Palestinian people is in need for such solutions. We need to think like those people. We need to allow ourselves to exist together, but as we are. Allow us to bring our specific skills. Let them interact. What Facebook did and what we can do here is to start. It's not a virtual community, but it's a community, it's a seed that we start, and let an organic community grow out of it without predefining it. When we predefine things and ideas and missions and goals, we kill them in childhood before they even start. What we did here with the Palestine social network, actually in about only using again the power of the masses, in only a few days, I only sat next to Lena and I lent her some of my expertise. She created it. We created what looks now to you is an empty shell, and that was on purpose. We did not want, at least the conference hopefully will support us and agree with us. We did not want to predefine anything. We wanted to create a shell, an empty shell, that has all the necessary tools, just like Facebook, for you to define yourself and change yourself as well. Definition, you know, I'm one day one thing, another day something else. But we give you the tools to change that, to interact with each other, and hopefully for thousands of other Palestinians from around the world, and those who are interested in helping the Palestinian people. It has all the necessary tools. It's work in progress, so a lot of tools and a lot of plugins and a lot of modules will be added on the fly, and all of that will depend on your use and on your feedback. So I know some of the features will not make a lot of sense now, but we will be, you know, as technical people or as administrators, we will be using something, a very powerful form of democracy. Let's say that we have a section on the community or a plugin or a module that is not being used. Nobody cares about. It could be for one or two reasons. One, it wasn't done properly. Two, there's no need for it, therefore the people don't use it. So we will withdraw it. If we notice that another plugin or another area or another tool is being used, like let's say the albums functionality is being used more than anything else, then we will develop it and we grow it. I hope and I invite all of you to become members of it. You can join now, and also give it a chance. I know a lot of you, for example, don't use Facebook and don't want to have anything to do with it, and have issues with, for example, on, privacy online and all these matters. But for example, although I've been working with the internet for about the last 15 years, both in the US and in America, and I became an active Facebook user only 2 years ago. And I resisted the whole time because I was against the idea of exposing too much about myself. But at the end of the day, if we are champions of transparency and democracy and being who we are and connecting with others on that basis, we have to sacrifice a bit of privacy. Does anybody have any question about the social network? Yes, go ahead, please.